guys, Sara Gaston here. Listen, today I want to talk to you about my fabulous hat. No, I'm kidding. But this hat is amazing, right? I got this at the Geffen Playhouse in Los Angeles. If you ever go, you too can get one of these fabulous hats, because we think of play like, oh, I'm going to go outside and play, or, oh, it's football, let's go play. But no, this is play, as in the noun, as in let's go see a play. Anyway, that's your little New York Times crossword puzzle clue for the day. Anyway, on to today's topic. Okay, so a lot of casting directors, even though we're in a strike, yes, I'm dating this video, are going back into the room. Okay, not all, but some, particularly for commercials. And I helped with an audition recently, and I was horrified. It is like people have lost their minds, and these are seasoned actors who all have agents who should know better. So I'm going to try to remember the many infractions that I saw committed. I hope I remember them all. If not, I'll probably make little bullet points at the end of this video. First thing, headshots. Do you remember those? Yes, we're still using them. This particular audition, the client was going to be there, so there was not going to be any callback. Like, this audition was the audition and the callback rolled into one. And even the client was like, why aren't people stapling their headshots to their resumes? Okay, so you may remember pre-COVID times, we used to hand a physical headshot 8x10 with a physical resume 8x10 stapled to the back. Okay, so we don't hand in a lot of headshots, but some people still want them. So you still must have them, okay? If you really don't want to pay for a batch of colored headshots, then at least print them out, like really like a very good quality print, and then still staple a resume on the back, right? So you have something to turn in, because a lot of times when clients are in the room and they're talking about various actors and they're trying to decide who they want to combine with who, or do we like this person or this person? I literally heard conversations like, she was one of the early ones. She had the curly hair, it was short. Like, they couldn't communicate because they didn't have a physical picture, okay? So have a picture, okay? Something else people would do is they would say, I don't need the script, I have it memorized. And then they kept having to stop and go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. Well, after this happening a couple of times, this casting director just said, thank you so much for coming in. And as soon as they walked out, they were talking about how that person, like, you can't bring them to set. Like, if they can't freaking get through the dialogue in an audition, how are you going to bring it out on set, right? If you have the script, use it. It wasn't a requirement that these people be off book. And granted, she was trying to do something impressive, but she just wasn't up to the task, right? She let her nerves get in the way, and she kept saying, I knew it in my car. You guys, it doesn't do any good, because you're not auditioning for your car. You're auditioning for the client who's in the room, who may make you nervous. So take your script in if you need it. Okay, here's another thing people were doing. They were forgetting to stay in character until the casting director called cut. Seasoned actors, I was appalled. Okay, so it would look something like this. Well, doctor, I think that, the interstellar structure of the microbes are going to be the way we want to go with this. That's it. That's the rest of the dialogue. Seriously, you guys, they would like look at the camera or look at the casting director and announce that that was the end of the dialogue, ergo the end of the scene. Well, the casting director and the client know that, but they also want you to stay in character until somebody calls cut, because guess what? That's what you're going to need to do on set. And a lot of times, and this isn't just in commercials and industrials, this is in film and television too, they want some white space, metaphorically speaking, where there's no dialogue happening, where they can see what an actor can do when they don't have the lifeline of having dialogue, okay? All right, let's see, what were some other things they did? They would talk to the camera, even though they were supposed to have a conversation, right? So if it's conversation between two people because it's a scene, then you would think that they would talk to one another. And granted, we know that if we're filming in a two-shot, we want to cheat a little bit, right? We don't want to be in full profile. But it'd be like, well, Dan, I don't think we should go that way. Well, Sandra, I think we should. Oh, Dan, you're always so recalcitrant, etc., 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 right? Like, why are you talking to the camera as if it's the other person when the other person's standing next to you, right? Like, this was just a fraction of the things people were doing. Another thing people were doing is they didn't print out the script, right? So we tried to have plenty of scripts. You know, people walk off with them, things happen. So somebody would say, okay, I'm ready to go. And they'd hold up their phone and go, so doctor, I don't think we should go with this. No, you guys, you can't read off your phone. You just can't. And people say things like, I don't have a printer. Y'all, like, be self-directed, like, go to Kinko's, call your neighbor, call the business office at your apartment complex or your work or whatever. You can print out the script, right? You want to hold the script. You don't want to be looking at your phone, because I've seen it. I've never, ever in 100 years, because that's how old I've been alive and doing this, I have never seen anyone work a script successfully off their phone. It just does not happen. Okay, the other thing, people take direction, okay? If they give you a direction like, okay, well, this time, you know, be a little more authoritative, or this time bring it down. Like, you got to be able to bring it down, right? So I saw some actors in there who I know for a fact do like party princess stuff, or they play characters, you know, for dinner theater or whatever. That's fine. You know, like, that's a great way to make some money, okay? That's really not the same kind of acting as you're going to need for an industrial or for, you know, film or television, right? Unless you're doing like a Nickelodeon or something, right? And so, you know, it'd be like, well, Sandra, I don't think your idea is going to fly, right? So people were really telegraphing what they were thinking or intending or meaning or feeling. You fill in the blank, okay? Again, it was just like bad overacting, right? So, you know, that's just something you got to stay away from too. And again, this is all stuff that like these actors should know better, because they were in the room before COVID, but they have forgotten, or maybe they never learned and somehow they got away with it. I don't know. But, you know, that's the thing. They walk out of the room and the clients all say, yeah, he couldn't really take direction, or yeah, she was really nervous, or yeah, that guy, you know, he, you know, I don't understand why he wasn't talking to us. You know, like, they notice, okay, because they have thought about this so much that they have in their mind's eye what they're looking for. They've already envisioned the spot, the piece, the scene, whatever, you know, have you. And so they know what they're looking for, and they know when somebody just misses the mark, even with direction. And these folks were very generous. They were giving a lot of direction and giving people a lot of chances. The other thing is, listen to the feedback that's given. There was a guy that was so concerned about, you know, where to start the scene. I don't even remember what it was. That there was a client who was zooming in, so we were, you know, hearing him across the, you know, he was across the laptop or whatever, and this guy's like ignoring the client and talking over the client to ask the casting director something about the dialogue. You know, it's just like, I mean, not that the casting director doesn't matter, but pay attention to the hierarchy, right? The client is the person you want to serve, right? And we're not in a big hurry here. You have time to listen to the client respectfully and, you know, take in their, you know, notes and take in their critique and their feedback, and then also ask any questions you want to ask. That's one of the biggest issues we all have as actors, is staying present so we can really genuinely listen and hear the feedback and integrate it and implement it and then do it, as well as ask any questions and like do our job that we already know that to do, that we've already prepared, right? So I'm sure there are more, but those are the ones that I can remember off the top of my head. I literally typed up like an 11-point bullet list because I was like really like trying to like zip my mouth shut during the audition because I couldn't believe some of the stuff I was seeing. Anyway, I know, judgy, party of one. There, I'm coming clean. Anyway, you guys, I love you so much. That's why I'm sharing this with you, because when we go back in the room and we're feeling a little rusty, We just don't want to forget some basic common sense things that we do know, right? I know you know all this stuff. It's just a loving reminder. It's done with love. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful to you, please share. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have over like 150 videos right now with all sorts of tips and tricks on Halloween, trips, treats, tricks. Tips and tricks on the art and business of acting. Also, if you really want even more goodies, please subscribe to my email list on my website, saragaston.com. And as always, my friends, break a leg out there.